Start designing your own website, it can be helpful to refer to existing good examples and examine their grid structure, their typographic hierarchy, and their arrangement of elements. A few tools that can help you in your analysis are full page screen grabs or image captures, and a couple other plugins that I'm going to recommend here, including Fontface Ninja. Um, so for an example of what I'm talking about, if I want to see what wired looks like on a basic screen, what would I typically see that fits on a single screen? I can do a screen capture that way. If I want to see the full page of what the wired website looks like, what would it look like on a phone? What's the full length scroll of the website on a phone? Hey, what if it's in a frame? What does it look like on the actual iPhone or an iPad, even in horizontal uh, orientation? All of these things can be grabbed directly from the Chrome browser. So Chrome can help you make image captures, and I'm going to walk you through that. So uh, on your Mac, there's a couple different ways I can go about this. I can go to View Developer Tools, but whether you're on a Mac or a PC, you can go to these three little dots here in the upper right, go down to More Tools, and then Developer Tools. There is a quick key command for this. It's at least on Mac. I'm not sure on PC. Command Option I. I'm pretty sure it's probably something like that on the PCs. But if I choose this window, you're probably going to see something like this. And it just shows me the preview of the website, and it gives me a little access to the HTML and CSS code for the website so I can inspect some elements. But if I click on this toggle device toolbar button, now I get a different selection of views. So um, possibly by default you might see responsive. I've modified my screen here, but responsive means I can shrink the view down and see, okay, what does it look like on a phone? Might reflow itself, there we go. Or I might just, what happens if I make it bigger? There are also some preset sizes. So if I want to see what this would look like, say on an iPhone, um, I can choose that. Now I've added some to this list. If you don't see the number of devices that I have here, you can go to Edit, and this gives me a list of the devices that I can choose to add to the list. So if you want to add some more, you want to add your specific phone, you can look at it that way, and then they'll show up in the settings. So I can look at this, if I want to see this on a standard screen, I can see it that way. Or if I want to see it with an iPhone, I can see it that way. And by default, you're probably not going to see this. Up here in the little flyout menu, there is a possibility to show or hide the device frame. Now, it doesn't come up for every thing on the list. Galaxy S5, for instance, doesn't have a frame. It just shows you what the page would look like. But for the iPhone, you can see the frame. So I have two different ways that I can view this. First, if I come up here, I can do capture a screenshot, in which case it will just take a PNG image of what I see right here, or I can capture the full-size screenshot, in which case it captures that full scroll that I showed you earlier, right? So it would capture this whole stack of the website. So that's just directly from Chrome, and when you click this, it just will, if I say capture screenshot, it just makes a save and it will download to probably your downloads folder, um, and you have access to that file. A couple limits to this. If I have a page that scrolls where it builds as it goes, or here's a more complex scrolling experience. So if I start with a page like this that has some elements that have kind of a parallax scroll, or images or elements that kind of appear and fade in and out as I scroll, it's probably not going to capture that very well. There are a couple other extensions you can get. Fireshot is one, and full page screen capture is another one. But I'm going to talk about a Chrome extension called Fontface Ninja. So, Fontface Ninja is an extension for Chrome. I can get it from the Chrome Web Store. And when you get to this page in the Chrome Web Store, you can, for you, it'll probably just say Add to Chrome. I click this button, and once it's added to my Chrome browser, I have that little ninja icon in my browser bar. Now with that, if I click on the Fontface Ninja icon, it'll turn on the extension. Oops, click on it. Turns on the extension. And now if I hover over, oh, I think I got it twice. On, wait for it. Okay. And now if I hover over the text on the page, it will tell me what size and font that is. It also tells me the line height. So in a case like this, I have 45 point type, but only 37 point leading or line height. So you can investigate if you find a website that you think, hey, that type is a really nice size, I'd like to use that. You can look and see, well, what size and leading did they use? And it's a really good reference. One last plugin, you can also get this from the Chrome extension, is the CSS Viewer. This is a little more detailed than probably you'll get into for this class, but if I hover over elements on this page, it gives me a lot of information about that element. So this is telling me the font family, it's also telling me the margin. If I scroll down, it'll go away, but it tells me the margin and padding, so 16 pixels of margin and padding. So you can get a sense for any website layout that you like. You can use this tool to kind of go in and measure the elements that make that up. So that's a little bit about making screen captures, analyzing and finding out what size and font is being used on a site that you like, and working with extensions in Chrome.